Matt Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Today's show is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Protect your data from prying eyes at expressvpn.com/unleashed. Joined by Jeffy today, who continues to shelter in place and continues to be locked down.
I mean, you have to. It's the law.
It's the law.
It's the law. It's the law.
Actually,
It isn't?
Actually,
kinda
no.
wrapping up.
I mean, we're here,
Yeah.
so it must
Breaking
be
the law.
No,
No.
we're not breaking the law.
In fact, like I mentioned yesterday, I'm going to a restaurant tomorrow. Tonight. Will I meet you there? Will I see you there?
Living dangerously.
You going to be there?
No.
Okay, good.
No, he's not.
Okay. Just checking.
Do you go to the grocery store?
I have not gone in quite some time.
Really?
Yeah,
have you
no,
gone?
I
Have you
I
gone
have a wife.
anywhere? Absolutely
I have a
anywhere.
wife.
I know you have a wife. Yeah, I know. Have you gone anywhere though? Done anything?
Not really.
No, you just stay at home.
I go outside and walk around the house and
Okay.
take a look.
This is
And
the
once in a
perfect
while I look-
scenario for him.
Once in a
That
while I
is.
look out. It is.
Mhm.
It's a perfect scenario.
I saw
I actually am enjoying it.
there was a story a few weeks ago about the average American, and certainly this doesn't apply to you because there's nothing average about your television watching. The average American is binging 8 hours a day. With you, I'm guessing it's more like 16 or 18, and then you sleep, and then you get up and you start the cycle over again. Is that? Do I have it fairly
more than-
accurately?
Well, I mean, it's more than 8.
It's more than 8.
More than 8.
Yeah, I believe
I don't
that.
know, 16. 16 is probably too much, but between 8 and 16 is probably about right.
There's some wiggle room in there. It's probably too much.
It's just because some days, it depends. It depends on if a series I'm watching finishes up a season, then you might take a break for
Mm-hmm.
a little bit.
10 minutes,
10, 12
Yeah.
minutes.
some food.
Grab some more food.
Right.
You're out of snacks, and
Right.
you can come back and start the next season over.
So what have you watched during this time, this difficult time where we're all in this together? We're
Yes.
all in it
Yeah.
together. What have we watched together apart?
I've watched. I went through Quibi a bunch because I've got the free 90 days for Quibi. I got the free 30 days for Showtime, so I'm finally binging the 6 or 7 seasons of Ray Donovan. I had the world tell me I needed to watch that for a long time, and they were right. It's great.
Really?
I don't know. I've been watching some Amazon originals. I went back and watched the one 000, which was tremendous. It's just about a drug shipment and drug lords and stuff. Good stuff. Great stuff.
And then there was what's that show you like? Ozark. Have you finished that?
Ozark. Oh, please.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was
Long time ago. Yeah.
Yes, that was really good. Yeah, the season of that drama. That was, my gosh, holy cow! It might be time to watch that again. It's been so long.
Because it's been
And Afterlife. The new Afterlife with Ricky Gervais was great. It's just, whatever's new and hot, and then I go back and get some old stuff that I really like from time to time.
Yeah, and of course you watched the Tiger King thing.
I went through Tiger King. Yeah, I went through all of Tiger King plus the their extra episode that they did at the end.
Mm-hmm.
That was I felt like that was forced on me though. That was forced on me. The world was watching Tiger King, and I felt like I had to watch it because
you actually
after
didn't.
the second episode, I was like, okay.
It just made me feel icky. It was just kind of the ick. I didn't like it.
I was like, okay, I got it. You love big cats, and you're smoking meth on your ranch in Oklahoma.
Right,
Great.
right.
Have fun.
And you're a polygamous homosexual, okay. And then there's polygamous heterosexuals on the show too, and there's murder. People are killing each other, or at least trying to kill each other, hoping to kill each other. I got it. Okay, you're all douchebags. I got it. I mean, how many douchebags do I need in my life on my television screen?
Right, and the good thing about a lot of the douchebags is it's not real. It's a show, right?
Except it is real.
I love your qualifier.
That's my point. In Tiger King, it is real.
Right.
That's what I mean.
Exactly
You notice,
right.
though, Jeffy, do you notice how he slipped that in there? How many douchebags do I need in my life? On television. Because he's got plenty.
I got
in real
plenty
life.
in real life. I don't need more on TV. That's exactly right. Thank you for catching the implication there, Keith.
Okay.
No, Keith was not alone in catching it.
Oh, my goodness.
Golly. All right. So,
But malls are going to open up. I'm excited. Simon
balls are going to open
Oh, yeah,
up.
you can get back to your walking regimen every day.
You talked about going to restaurants, but I mean, Simon Malls is going to open back up, and that's what's a wonderful thing to be able to go to the mall.
Yeah.
One of the things that I saw in their story with the mall, though, that was so strange to me, is says occupancy for these malls are going to be capped at one person per 50 square feet. And they're going to do that with the help of traffic measurement technologies. Is that what, armed guards?
Wait a minute.
What is that?
One person in the mall for every 50 square feet. They've already been accomplishing that with the help of Amazon.
Yeah.
Seriously, no one goes to the mall anyhow.
Well, if you ask for it, they're going to give you a free mask and a free temperature check and hand sanitizing products. So, you get some free stuff while you're there.
Okay. All right. Well,
I can't remember the last time I went to a mall.
I can't either.
It's been a long time.
I cannot.
Really
I cannot
has.
tell you last time. It's been, oh my gosh, long time.
Yeah, there's just
And
no
I
need
think-
to.
I think the last time I went to a mall, I went into one store that was attached to a mall, but I never went, into the mall.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a long time.
Going to be interesting to see, first of all, if people go back to malls. And then if they do, for how long? Is it just a novelty because something's open and you're going to go see, oh, that's right, there are malls still, aren't there? Huh, maybe I'll go back and see what one looks like. And then we're going to check out the restaurants just to see what they look like because I've almost forgotten those as well. I mean,
I know.
When did you last sit down to a meal how old were you in early March? I can't even remember back. I'm not sure I was born in early March when restaurants
Feels like
were open.
another lifetime ago.
It does. Yeah, it does. By the way, experts are stunned that there aren't piles of dead bodies in Wisconsin right now because they held the vote and they actually had people go to the polls and they thought, okay, Wisconsin, you're going to have a spike like you can't believe in coronavirus cases. And it didn't come. And I think they're actually hurt.
Wow.
I think Democrats are actually hurt. Their feelings are hurt that a lot of people didn't get the virus and die.
Yes. Yes, there aren't. They keep showing pictures of what could have happened. What could have happened. Well, it didn't.
It didn't. And that's kind of what some experts are saying. We should just be living life right now and kind of let the chips fall where they may because way more people have this than you're giving us credit for. And that means that there are a lot of people who are not affected by it or very mildly affected by it. And the death rate goes down by, factors of 10 or 100 when you look at the overall picture of this thing. And there's actually an ER doctor in New York City now who is saying, look, we got to get back to work because we've seen the spike. We've been through the worst of it. We're kind of going out the other side, and now it's time to get back to work. This guy's name is Daniel Murphy, Dr. Daniel Murphy, chairman of the Department of Emergency Medicine at St. Barnabas Hospital in the Bronx. And he says, first of all, the curve is flattening. He says the wave has crested. At 1 p.m. on April 7th, the COVID-19 arrival slowed down. It was a discrete, noticeable event, he said. Stretchers became available by 5, and the number of arriving COVID-19 patients dropped below the number discharged, transferred, or deceased. This was striking because the community I serve is poor. Some are homeless. Most work in essential low-paying jobs where distancing isn't easy. Nevertheless, the wave passed over us, peaked, and subsided. The way this transpired tells me the ebb and flow had more to do with the natural course of the outbreak than it did with the lockdown. Number 2, he says, non-COVID care has plummeted and that's a bad thing. That means our patients in this diverse low-income community are afraid to come to the ER for non-COVID care. Yep. Number 3, COVID fear is over-amplified. Inordinate fears misguides the public response, he said. While COVID-19 is serious, fear of it is being over-amplified. The public needs to understand that the vast majority of infected people do quite well. Number 4, COVID is more prevalent than we know, which we just kind of talked about. Murphy said that more people have contracted COVID-19 than have tested positive for the virus. That's due to the fact that a significant number of COVID patients are asymptomatic. Many New Yorkers already have COVID-19 infection, whether they're aware of it or not. As of today, over 43% of those tested are positive in the Bronx. We're developing a significant degree of natural herd immunity. Distancing works, but I'm skeptical that it's playing as predominant a role as many think. So he's saying it's time to get back to business here. That we're doing pretty well, and even in New York City, this thing is starting to subside. So
it's Friday.
Yeah, I mean, look, they all say, that the salon owner in Dallas that is having the fight now, and I mean, they are battling back and forth for her to even just open her salon.
Yeah,
and their papers in Dallas talk about her chancing irreparable injury to the locals. Well, irreparable injury. What about the people that work there and that need to earn a living?
Yeah, right.
My gosh, that's the irreparable damage.
Yeah, there's going to be irreparable damage done to our country if we don't do something like, I don't know, now, like right now, like we're doing in Texas. In fact, today, as Keith has pointed out, restaurants are opening up, and I think you can go inside, right? Or is it just the patio?
That's my understanding. I'm not sitting outside. It's too hot. So, seriously, that's the difference, though. We say Texas. We should be clear. Dallas is nuts. Dallas is crazy with their lockdown and everything. I'm going out west. That's where I'm talking about having the freedom to go to a... I'm not meeting you there. You can't find... You're not going to find me.
I'm not threatening to go.
You're going to find me. I mean, unless I can follow you back home for some of them scrumptious cookies.
I mean, there's no way to get there.
West.
We can meet at the restaurant.
There's no way to get there. We can mail you some, though. We can mail you some
right
cookies.
back home to the
kitchen.
If you
want. So we could do that. That could be arranged.
Okay. All right. And what was it again? It's a scrumptiouscookie.
Yeah. .com.
.com.
Yep. That's what it was again. Scrumptiouscookie.com. Cookies. Scrumptious cookies was taken, if you can believe it.
So wait, when I place an order, right?
Yeah.
Is only one of the cookies going to be scrumptious that I order, or should I only order one at a time, or how do we do that?
Yes, you should order one at a
just
time.
The one.
Yeah, we'll just send them out to you individually.
Figure out which one is the scrumptious one.
That's what you should do. So
okay.
I think that'll work really well for you.
They're coming in the mail, so you just get one a day. You'll have something to look forward to.
That's actually a good idea. If postage wasn't so ridiculous, it'd be like a cookie a day club.
So, some of those cookies are like a dessert meal, too.
He's thinking about this.
Will be enough for you.
The wheels are turning.
You won't be hungry for a while.
I'm not quite sure about that comment, but
yes, Jeffy could put that to the test. That's for sure. All right, since it is a fun, frivolous Friday for the most part, we had a request for this. Got a tweet here from Pastor Sam Burton. Hey, Patheads, I don't know about you, but I really want to hear the Turtle song on this Friday, frivolous Friday. You know the one he's talking about.
If turtles weren't so stupid, they would put straws in their noses. When I see a straw, I put it in my mouth. Straws don't belong there, but the turtles don't know why. So maybe they all deserve to die.
Yes.
It's a good point. It's a really good point. And he sings it well. That's nice.
Turtles are so stupid.
That is fantastic.
Why would you put let's say you do find a straw in the ocean.
Okay.
What are you doing to jamming it in your nose? It is stupid, like he says.
I mean, maybe the turtle's bored. I mean, there's not a lot to do out there but swim.
But that's not where they go.
That's true.
They go in your mouth, turtles.
I'm not here to defend the stupid turtles. I'm just trying to think like one.
Good.
Which obviously they're not.
All right, let me tell you about Books. Maybe you can't give Mom a hug right now, but you can send flowers from the Books company. Books, short for bouquets, BOUQS. Books are responsibly sourced from some of the world's finest eco-friendly farms, even farms on sides of volcanoes, so the flowers stay fresher longer. You know, flowers and plants have been proven to reduce stress and boost productivity, kind of like pets in that way. Now that we're spending more time at home, how about a little self-love to brighten up your day and your space? Big savings, too, mean that you can send farm-fresh flowers, plants, and gift bundles to all the moms in your life. Your mom, your actual mom, soon-to-be mom, maybe your wife, your grandma, a dog mom. Just treat yourself. Send smiles, no matter the miles, with Books.com/Pat. That's BOUQS.com/Pat. Enter the offer code PAT for 25% off your entire order. Again, that's offer code PAT for 25% off at Books.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
So House Speaker Nancy Pelosi cut off a reporter yesterday who was questioning why the Democrats are standing by Joe Biden, even though all women who accuse men should be believed. We heard that. We were lectured that all during the Brett Kavanaugh hearings. We heard it the whole time during just about everybody's accusations, whether it was Harvey Weinstein or Matt Lauer or whatever. We just believed everybody who accused anybody. Well, that's not the case now. Huh. And Nancy was being asked about that yesterday. Here's what happened.
As far as Biden is concerned, how do Democrats square with the idea that they're essentially they're standing by Biden, but they're using a comparatively different standard with Kavanaugh when he demanded a investigation on Justice Kavanaugh, when a very similar allegation came out on him.
Well, let me just say, I respect your question, and I don't need a lecture or a speech.
Pause it for a second there. I can't take this. Every single time she's challenged, which isn't often, by the way, but every time she is challenged, she goes into this elitist, how dare you question me mode. That is so pathetic. It is so wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do need to be lectured because you're an absolute hypocrite.
She's dim-splaining. That's what she's trying to do here.
If Trump handles it this way, he gets beaten with shovels, metaphorically and almost literally, for the next 2 weeks of non-stop coverage on CNN. All right, let's see the rest of this.
On him.
Well, let me just say, I respect your question, and I don't need a lecture or a speech. Here's the thing. I have complete respect for the whole Me Too movement. I have 4 daughters.
No, you
and
don't.
1 son.
Oh, yes, you do have the daughters, but you
There's
don't
a lot
have
of
any
excitement
respect for it.
around the idea that women will be heard.
What is she wearing, by the way? Is that a mask?
That's her mask.
There's also due process. And
what good is it doing her? She's got it down around her neck.
Is Joe Biden.
Pause it for a second. That Joe Biden is Joe Biden. Brett Kavanaugh is Brett Kavanaugh. What are you talking about? Joe Biden is Joe Biden. Yeah, he's a douchebag. So, yeah, we should be asking questions of him. And you, because you're supporting him, and you're not even asking about whether Tara Reade was molested or not. All right, let's see the rest of this.
Fact that Joe Biden is Joe Biden. There's been statements from his campaign, or not his campaign, but his former employees who ran his offices and the rest, that there was never any record of this. There was never any record. And that nobody ever came forward, or nobody...
You seen the Larry King clip?
Ever came forward to say
That's
something
kind of on the
about it,
record.
apart from the principal involved. I am so proud. The happiest day for me this week was to support Joe Biden for President of the United States. He's a person of great integrity, a great concern for the American people.
Wow.
He authored the Violence Against Women Act when he was the chair of the Judiciary Committee.
While he's committing violence
in the 90s.
against women
He has
in
been
the
an
90s,
advocate for
which is
funding
great.
it all
great.
along since then. And I
Allegedly.
believe that he will be a great president of the United States. He is the personification of hope and
She's
optimism.
despicable. I can't even stand. Okay, I've heard enough. I can't even stand to look at her. I cannot stand to look at her.
What if she had the mask on her face, though?
That wouldn't help, because as long as the voice is still coming out of her mouth, it's unbearable.
Muffled or not, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's unbearable. Yeah. And what do you bring a mask for? Just to show that you have one, you own one?
Right,
it doesn't do any good when you're not wearing it, moron.
Yeah, and they weren't social distancing. I mean, there's whatever.
Just start to finish. These people are just despicable. I can't. It's hard to take. It really is hard. Okay, let's do the penguin thing, because we need something frivolous here.
Yeah, we're gonna do the.
Yeah, do the.
I don't know if he's drunk or what. He's just hopping around and.
There it is. There's the penguin.
Yeah, look at that.
Just hopping around.
See? I mean, that's a Friday video if there ever is one.
Lockdown's over.
Seriously. Yeah. Who sent this to me? They said, this is me when the lockdown is over.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Just bouncing around. Yeah, lockdown's over.
Watch this guy. He's like, get out my space, man. What are you doing? Seriously, that animal is on something. That animal is on something.
He just keeps going.
It's like Energizer Bunny.
And then the who's ever filming it just ran out of patience. Okay, I can't
or their
watch
battery
this
died
longer.
on their phone.
Just can't do it anymore. All right, some good news too. We have something new.
Whoa!
From Alex Jones, which
gosh,
I'm kind of excited about.
This is good news.
Yeah. This is great news.
Okay.
Have you seen this yet, Jeffy? The new Alex Jones I'll eat you thing?
A hungry Alex Jones?
All right, let's see.
So.
All right,
let's admit it.
Yeah, he'll admit it.
I will eat my neighbors. I'm not letting my kids die. I'm just going to be honest. My superpower is being honest. I've extrapolated this out, and I won't have to for a few years since I got food and stuff.
Right.
But I'm literally looking at my neighbors now and going, I'm ready to hang them up and gut them and skin them and chop them up. And you know what? I'm ready. My daughters aren't starving to death.
Pause this. That's unbelievable. If that's serious, if he's really looking at his neighbors, wondering which ones he's going to eat.
I got years of food and stuff. I extrapolated this out.
This guy is just sick.
He is sick, dude.
He's sick.
Wait, you have to know your neighbors, but I mean, if you just go outside and look around, that one maybe.
I'd eat that. Yeah,
right.
I'd eat that.
Right. String them up. Got that one.
I'm not sure what you're looking for in a human as far as taste is concerned.
You're right. Thank you. And time out. If you are in Jeffy's neighborhood, okay, just know where he lives, know where he's at all times, because he has precedence at eating things, and so you're already on that list. But good luck, Jeffy's neighborhood.
All right, let's see the rest of this.
During good times.
You know what? I'm ready. My daughters aren't starving to death. No. I'll eat my neighbors. See, my superpower is being honest. I'll eat your ass. I will. I'm
my superpower
combat model, optimal self-sufficiency.
You'll eat my ass?
Probably the leader.
It's kind of
the point is have you
like
thought
a rump
about
roast?
That yet? Because I'm somebody that thought I could fix this.
Like a human
and
rump
I'm starting
roast,
to think
I
about
guess.
having to eat my neighbors. You think I like sizing up my neighbor?
Yes.
I'm going to haul him up by a chain and chop his ass up? I'll do it.
You do it.
My children aren't going hungry.
Mine are.
I will eat your ass. That's why I want the globalists to know. I will eat your ass first.
That is just nuts.
Great? Oh, I thought the
great. Yeah, I mean that's what I meant. Was great. That was the word. Thank you, Jeffy, for the help there.
No
His superpower, like you said, Jeffy, is being honest.
That's not what the court said, but go ahead.
That isn't what the court said.
No, the court didn't say that at all. But you go ahead and keep telling us that.
His superpower is being honest.
I would eat your ass.
It's weird then that he lied about what he said about Sandy Hook over and over and over again, even though it was recorded for everyone to hear that he did call it a hoax. It's strange that a superpower didn't kick in there.
It is.
Can his neighbors file something there? I mean, that feels like a threat.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, think about it. We're in a global pandemic. There's a food shortage. And my neighbor just announced on international TV that he wants to, quote, eat my ass, end quote. I mean, there's got to be something there as far as being able to file a police report or something. Seriously.
Wow.
But that is a good question, though, you asked, Pat.
How do you size up? What are you looking for in a human being? I know what to look for, in a steak. You like marbling.
Sure.
If that's the case, you're looking at Jeffy. Right? You're looking. He's got a lot of marbling.
You really want something a little younger?
Yes, thank you. Yes,
younger?
I would think you'd be tough and gristly.
You don't want it. You don't want too much marbling. Not too much marbling. And you want to be sure that there's no drugs, right? Because the drugs are going to affect.
Right. You want it all natural.
So you want an organic neighbor.
Yes. Yeah, the organic ones, but a lot of those get too thin. You want somebody that's maybe just somebody that just started organic, so they still have a little flab on.
So hold on a second. This is the fact that like Stu Bergier, who works here, he's a vegetarian. Is he? So he's grain fed, right? So he's probably top of the chain as far as neighbors who's going to get eaten. Right?
It'd be like that beef that you find at the upscale markets where it's been grass fed, and it's all natural, and there's no hormones or any of that stuff in it. Yeah,
that's going to be a lot better.
Yeah, so he might be good eating. So if it comes to that, everybody know that Stu Bergier would be good eating.
Yeah, go for him first.
I would not
bring him up on a chain.
And I want the globalists to know.
I thought crying was a superpower because
to feel what the children are feeling.
Yeah.
God almighty.
I know.
First gear?
Not yet. Oh boy.
Folks, we gotta get good people to stand up against these people. I probably shouldn't even have done this radio show today.
Or any day.
Because I have this disgusted cover for how I just hate the globalists, but it's more than that.
And I'm hungry.
Yeah.
And I just get flippant and angry, but it's because deep down, folks, I can see what they're doing, and we have a responsibility to stop these globalists.
And I want to eat them.
Where are the men in this country? Where are the men in this world?
I want a man. I need a man.
We just offer our children up to the system with the fluoride, the water, and the GMO hurting them. And we let fat perverts grab them at the airport and train them for the pedophile government.
Golly.
And we've just got such a sick society.
Yeah, we do. Where people are sizing up their neighbors to decide whether or not they should eat them. Yeah, that's a sick society, my friend. You're right.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll do it.
I will. I'll eat your ass.
I want the globalists to know I'm coming for you first. I'll do it.
Okay. All righty. So was that must have been in the context of the food shortage, the meat shortage, the beef, which I haven't experienced yet in Texas, and I hope we don't. But
but remember though, as Alex just told us, I got years of food and stuff. So he's ready. I mean, we don't have to worry. Your neighbors are safe, Alex, for what? Next few years.
Couple years.
Yeah, a couple
years.
But he's keeping an eye on you.
And yet he's still looking at you as food for some reason.
What a freak.
Oh, it's so weird. That's so weird. I should let everybody know I got rid of all my food a long time ago.
Oh yeah,
I used to have food.
Hold on a second.
I dropped it in the same place as my guns.
Like where were you going in this boat where you had guns and
I forget.
food?
I think we were just going to go fishing and just relax out there in the middle of
all of your food was with you.
Yeah,
like you plan ahead, right?
Do,
like it was going to be a day on the lake.
You never know when a storm's going to come up and you'll be trapped out there. So
wow.
Just trying to be prepared.
I mean, you got burned for planning ahead.
Really did.
That's
it's a
too
shame.
bad.
That's
So-
a shame because there was a lot of food.
Wait a minute.
And now it's all gone.
Does that mean that now you're eyeing your neighbors?
No, I am not eyeing my. That means I'm going to starve to death in the coming apocalypse. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Yesterday there was a story that broke about the prison situation and the COVID-19 pandemic that's sweeping the country. Apparently 60% of prisoners in federal prison have COVID-19.
Yeah.
Which is why Attorney General Barr a month or two ago said, okay, if they're low-risk prisoners but high risk for, they've got other health issues and they're not a real threat for violence, let them go. Well, they started that process and then stopped it pretty suddenly. And so a friend of mine has a son-in-law who's in a federal prison, and he is very high risk. He's got several pre-existing conditions, and the virus is sweeping through the prison he's in. So his wife is trying desperately. She's written to me, Glenn, Senator Mike Lee, trying desperately to get anybody to help in whatever way they can. So we're going to talk to his lawyer in about an hour about that situation and what can be done for him, if anything. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We got Petty Officer America tweeting, that doctor in New York starting to make sense. What time are we burning him at the stake?
Right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't make sense in this environment. What are you doing? Economic intercourse therapist? I wonder, did the Nancy Pelosi mask come from the Glenn Beck Ascot collection? It did look like that. It did look like that.
Good stuff.
DMXDM tweets, wait until Alex Jones gets to last night's tacos. Okay, when he's eating people's...
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
Okay. That's something you have to take into consideration. Tyler's metaphoric F. If Alex Jones' superpower is being honest, then Jeffy's superpower is dieting.
You see what he did there, Jeffy? See that?
I'm trying to figure that.
Yeah, are you? Yeah,
I don't understand.
It's a tough one. We won't try to noodle that one out. Mm-hmm. We'll just let that one lay.
I don't think you need to really.
Yeah. So the NFL is weighing playing games on Saturday if college football doesn't resume in the fall. Now, has the NCAA said they're not resuming in the fall? I don't think they've even hinted at that.
Yeah, but I think
they have not.
You're kind of stressing out about this, but I think you're looking at this wrong, Pat. I think the NFL is basically playing a game here with the NCAA and said, okay, look.
We'll take your slot.
Yeah, we'll throw the gauntlet down. We'll say, look, you don't want to play on Saturdays? We will. So I think this might...
I hope so.
Force the hand of the NCAA to say, let's go. Okay.
Yeah, I hope so. Again, don't put anybody in the stand. Play the games with empty stadiums. Just play the games. Show them on TV. That's all.
That's a lot of money, though. Holy cow.
It is.
That's a huge amount of money that they lose. I don't know how they do that.
It'd be even more money if they don't have the television revenue.
I know. Just it's unfathomable the amount of money that these teams are going to lose. I don't know how they recover from it.
If they do the no crowd thing, Nebraska doesn't forfeit their home sellout streak.
No, you can't count that. I don't think.
Good. So it'll keep going.
Yes.
375 straight sellouts since 1962.
I mean, that's amazing.
That's all we got left, y'all.
But it's a pretty good stat.
That is. That's a great stat. Well, I wonder if after the first, let's say they do that with one weekend, the first opening weekend, no fans. Do the fans say, "Let us in. We want to watch these games. We'll sit, every other seat or whatever. Instead of 60,000, let 30,000 in." I mean, I think that might happen as well.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I mean, you're going to want to go, right? You're going to want to go see the team play.
Yeah, I'm going to want to watch it from my living room.
Well,
I usually am. I do like watching it at home. But
hold on.
I love, if you have an opportunity to go, it's fun.
Yeah, it is.
And there's certainly
it's a good environment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. You watch those highlights and there's 90,000 people at that stadium. I don't know how long it takes to get back to those days.
So here's a question for both of you gentlemen. You guys have been throwing around the idea of going to the Missouri BYU game on October 10th.
Mm-hmm.
Gun to your head right now, would either of you go? Are you planning on it right now?
Not planning on it, but I'd go. Yeah, I'd go.
So I'm saying you would go. I'm talking about COVID-19.
Yeah, I'd go. Mm-hmm.
Jeffy?
I'd have to wear a mask. I'd have to wear a mask, maybe a hazmat suit.
I mean, just you getting out of the house would be
hazmat suit.
That'd
be fun. That'd be fun because
I know it would be. Really.
I'd love to be sitting behind you in the stands.
In a hazmat suit? Sure.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be great.
Hey, down in front in the hazmat suit. I can't see.
I might do it now just for the heck of it.
Okay.
All right. 888-900-3393. Anyway, the NFL wants Saturdays if they don't.
Yeah.
While the majority of the week's schedule would remain on Sundays, along with primetime Monday and Thursday games.
I mean, they own the week anyway.
Some standalone games could be reset for Saturday. So then you got Monday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. Wow. What else is the NFL going to take over? I guess Tuesdays, they have Tuesdays and Wednesdays they could still get.
Yeah, I mean, your body's got to recover a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess Amazon Prime is going to broadcast the Thursday night games on NFL Thursday's lineup.
Well, right now, they're one of the options. But I believe in 2021, there are going to be exclusive games that are only on Amazon Prime.
That are only on?
Yeah, that just broke as well.
Wow.
So starting the following season, and I don't know that it's going to be that many games. I think it will be Saturday, ironically, toward the end of the year. That those games will only be available through streaming. Amazon.
That's pretty big.
That's very big.
Wonder what they paid for that.
That
had to go at a hefty premium. Because there's a lot of people without Amazon Prime.
Yep.
So that's a big move from the NFL.
I'm going to find out how much.
Huh? Yeah, a lot. I'm guessing a lot. Now, Bob Costas was discussing sports with Anthony Fauci, or was he just talking about Fauci?
He was just talking about Fauci. Yeah. So they had him on
and
MSNBC or something talking sports, and are we going to get him back?
And do we have that? Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see that. Bob Costas.
Bob, this is breaking the hearts of millions, and I include myself in that group. What do you think of Fauci's message? I mean, do you think the leagues are hearing this message?
Well, I think that Dr. Fauci would be among the heartbroken because he is a very passionate and knowledgeable sports fan. I've heard him speak with particular detail about the baseball he grew up following in the 1950s in New York, the basketball he played in high school. He follows the NBA closely. So he's not dismissing this as something unimportant. He recognizes that it's an important business and that also millions upon millions of Americans would welcome it back. They're yearning for the diversion. They're yearning to follow their teams. Certainly I am. But Dr. Fauci, as usual, is saying something very reasonable and credible. Unless and until there's comprehensive and credible testing, because you're going to have to frequently test the participants, not just the players, but everyone surrounding it. Even if there aren't fans in the stands, there's support personnel. There's many more people than just the players involved. You're going to have to be able to test them frequently. You're going to have to be able to quarantine them. And this can only take place when widespread testing is available to, as the expression goes, everyone who needs it and wants it. Otherwise, it's going to be a public relations
Is that an
disaster
expression?
if it's
Everybody who needs it and wants it.
Athletes
You've said that all the time.
are jumping the queue here, while Americans who are less favorably situated are still waiting.
Yeah, we got it, Bob.
That's a great point. I mean, especially how you lay it out, which is really, really spot on.
Right.
Is it wrong to think that it feels like an insurmountable, widespread enough and comprehensive enough
to
be able to let the sports teams go on? I mean, what is your gut telling you? Telling you on this?
I don't know, but I love how CNN's got like the virus going on in the background of all of their in-studio hosts now.
I think that's entirely.
I'm seriously. Look right here now.
Better
See?
sense of it than I do.
Oh, yeah,
that's their background now.
At least says that it's possible, but at the same time,
all right. I think we've heard enough of Bob and his Fauci speak.
Yeah, but it's good to hear him, anger us on something not gun related.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Everybody loves the Fauci. Everybody loves the Fauci.
Everything
except
he says
me.
is credible.
Everything he says is gospel truth and credible and
reasonable.
wonderful and reasonable, brilliant, genius. How could you not listen to this man? He's sexy. He's brilliant. He's dead right every single time he opens his mouth. That raspy voice comes out. So, you can't go against the Fauci. You can't. So, thank you, Bob. Thank you.
My sports, man.
I know.
And what is it with these sports announcers? I mean, it was
so many of them are saying, we can't do it. They're not doing it.
Who else was it?
They're walking that safety line, though, right? They want to walk that safety line. We don't want to harm the fans and the players.
No, they want a year off.
Yeah.
They want to be able to sit at home and watch nothing but Netflix all day and get paid for it.
There also is a rule, Democrats, and all the Democrats want this to keep going.
Yep.
And it's madness. Well, I guess we want people to die because we want to get back to our lives and we want the economy to start rolling again. And we don't want people to lose their jobs because 30 million have in 6 weeks.
And that's the thing, Bob Costas and Kirk Herbstreit. There are people sitting at home right now that aren't guaranteed salaries like you. If the sports season's canceled, I guarantee you your contract still pays you out. That's not the case for everybody. Come on, man.
All right, let me take a minute and tell you about Freedom Financial. The anxiety and stress caused by debt, it's just overwhelming. It makes you feel alone, like there's no way out, especially now. But there is a way out. You don't have to go through it alone, and Freedom Debt Solutions is here to help. I know that when, credit card debt starts piling up, and you're looking at your mortgage and thinking, how am I going to pay this? It really weighs on you. There's no one-size-fits-all solution to getting out of debt. Freedom Debt Solutions has more than 400 debt experts standing by to recommend the right solution for your specific situation. So no matter which situation you qualify for, Freedom Debt Solutions could get you out of expensive credit card debt faster than you can do it on your own with low, affordable monthly payment plans. Since 2002, Freedom Debt Solutions has served over 750,000 plus clients, settled over 2.7 million accounts, and settled over $10 billion in debt. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt and you're struggling to make monthly payments, there is hope. Stop the stress and anxiety your debt is causing. Find out how you can talk to a Freedom Debt Solutions expert and get your free personalized debt consultation today. Go to freedomdebtsolutions.com/unleashed. That's freedomdebtsolutions.com/unleashed.
Pat Gray, Unleashed.
Oh no, Britney Spears burned down her gym.
What?
I know.
Yeah, they're darn candles.
Yep.
So
Wait a minute. So, Jeffy, when you work out, do you light candles and like scented ones around the room?
No, but I'm not Britney Spears.
I see.
Right? Britney, and you can quote me on that.
I will. I will quote you. You are not Britney Spears.
Not that, but she claimed that this was 6 months ago, right? I mean, not
Was
that
it?
I follow Britney on Instagram or anything, but that's about the time that when she started everybody thinking that she had problems, right? She was going downhill a little bit a few months ago. So if that kind of bodes into that. Right, I know that she said in her Instagram post it was I had a couple candles burning and one thing led to another and I burned it down. Okay.
Yeah, she said, "Hi guys, I'm in my gym right now. I haven't been in here for like 6 months because I burned my gym down. Unfortunately, I had 2 candles and one thing led to another and I burned it down."
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah.
What?
I mean,
one thing led to another and you burned it down?
What does one thing lead to another? What does that mean?
Oh, when you have 2 candles and then, it just
right.
one thing leads to another.
Yeah, you start putting candles around your home gym and pretty soon
And when
one thing leads to another.
Firefighters arrived, and they said,
Yeah,
"Why does it smell like Gwyneth Paltrow around here?"
Yeah, right.
Very weird.
And then you tell them, well, officer, I had a couple of candles in my home gym, and one thing led to another, and the fire almost spread to my indoor swimming pool and basketball courts. And so thank you for getting here in time. Phew, that was a close one.
She has a pretty nice place that she usually records.
Yeah, I'm guessing she has a pretty nice place. Yeah.
Okay, even with the even with Dad holding her money, she does pretty well.
No, he does. Come on, she's 38 years old. He doesn't hold her money anymore, does she?
That's the big fight. That's the big fight. He still has. He's still got his fingers on a lot of that cash.
Get out of here.
Yeah, her because she's not really. She's had some issues.
Yeah, I know that, but I thought she was over that. I thought she got better.
Well, one thing led to another,
and pretty soon she was out of her mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's still in charge, Jeffy. You're
That
right.
is crazy. Yeah. She's 38. Come on.
A court.
That's her argument.
A
right?
judge ruled. Yeah.
Oh, I'm with her on that. I'm with her. She should be in control of her own money. I don't care how nutty she is. She should be in control of her own money. It's hers. She's an adult. She's got children.
Touring the world.
She's been married. Wow, that's weird. Okay, that's just plain weird. Should we ask Cardinal Tobin about that? Because I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right at all.
Did you consult an attorney? I called up Cardinal Tobin.
Right.
Cardinal Joe Tobin in Newark.
That's what we all do, right? We call up. So we're going to call up Cardinal Joe Tobin and ask him about this Britney Spears situation because I don't think it's right.
And his answer may be, well, Britney needs to call me. That might be his
it he might say, Pat, it's none of your business.
That's true.
Have Britney call me. And then, that, and that's fair. That's fair enough. if that's the way he wants to play it. I'm looking out for her best interest right now.
That's so nice of you.
Thank you. Just Too Muck and Fudge tweets, when will Dr. Fauci leave his post to sell facial cream?
Yes.
You know what? I hope very, very soon because it would be that would be a bright day for all of us. Please, Dr. Fauci. There's so much money to be made in the facial cream industry. You have no idea. Call Cardinal Joe Tobin. Ask him about it. He'll tell you.
No, just do it.
Because Joanna Gaines called Cardinal Joe Tobin and asked him, and he said, yeah, get into the facial cream business. And that's when she left her show and went to
Dr. Phil's wife call Cardinal Tobin as well?
Yes, she did.
That really made Dr. Phil mad, I hear.
It did.
Yeah.
It strained their marriage for a while, but they got through it, fortunately. Thanks to Cardinal Joe Tobin.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
Got some tweets here to get us started at Pat Unleashed. Man Bear tweets, that's why Alex Jones can't find the men. He's eating them all. Makes sense?
Yep.
Makes sense.
Where are the men in my belly?
General Wuhan's Corona Pow chicken. I can honestly say I have never, no matter how angry I was, ever told anyone, I will eat your ass. Yeah. Okay, me neither. I don't think I have ever done that either. Pandemic giblets. When it comes to cannibalism, Jeffy's marbleizing will not overcome his lack of movement to make him more like veal.
Oh, sorry, dude.
Dang it. B. DeBodine tweets, I don't know about football, but NASCAR is fixing to kick off with a vengeance in a couple of weeks with 4 cup races in 11 days. Gentlemen, start your engine. Yeah,
wow.
Not that excited about it, but good. I'm glad somebody is.
Green shoots, Pat.
Yes. Winston Smith, UFC will be holding 3 events in Jacksonville in May. No audience, but we're beginning to get back to sports. And Sir Nasty. Shouldn't Costas be talking to Cardinal Joe Tobin about this? Fauci has no real power, only what Tobin allows him to have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have to know the hierarchy of power in this country. You have to. Joplin Steve tweets, so close. I know it's not Cardinal Tobin, but will you accept advice from Bishop Tobin? No.
What, no?
Well, maybe. I don't know. Because Bishop Tobin...
He tweeted out. Bishop Tobin tweeted
Bishop
out.
Thomas Tobin did, in fact, tweet out. Now, this isn't Cardinal Tobin. Don't get carried... Let's not make that mistake here. This is Bishop Thomas Tobin. Reopening the economy isn't just about making money. It's also about avoiding unemployment, poverty, hunger, depression, domestic violence, and the dissolution of family life. A healthy economy is a social justice issue, a human life issue.
I think we are going to listen to Bishop Thomas Tobin.
I think we are, yeah. I like it. So let's check on what he has to say on a regular basis. Also, Pat Sajak is he's. I don't know if people are aware, but Sajak is a pretty funny guy. He's a funny guy.
Funny and conservative. Yeah.
Funny, conservative, smart. You know, he does more than spin a wheel and ask contestants if they want to buy a vowel. Said, please don't forget about us. He pleaded as the coronavirus shutdown of the U.S. continued to force entertainment personalities to experience life like regular people. In a post poking fun at inflated celebrity egos and entertainers dealing with the shutdown, Sajak tweeted, "Adopt a celebrity," and urged, "Please don't forget about us." I hope you understand how difficult this situation is for celebrities. Instead of being pampered and flattered by everyone, we are forced to sit in our homes just like regular people.
Oh.
That's unconscionable.
Please don't forget about us.
Please don't forget about us. Any kind words of support would be appreciated. Adopt a celebrity.
Hashtag adopt a celebrity. That's
really funny.
Yeah.
On Friday, he mused about having to wear a face mask in public, and that was preventing fans from recognizing him. He said, no one was recognizing me when I went out wearing a face mask. Had to resort to carrying an 8x10 glossy of myself. Celebrityhood can be challenging.
Pat Sajak is so great.
It's really funny. On Thursday, he feigned surprise that his job as a television game host isn't considered an essential service. Surprised to learn that selling vowels is not an essential job. Those are all really funny.
He's great.
That's good stuff.
I love Pat Sajak.
Yeah, he's really funny. Also from Yanzer Phoenix, he asks, how green is this lettuce?
How green is it?
And then right under the barcode, it tells us, lettuce green as F.
AF.
Lettuce green AF.
Love it.
It can't be what that means, right?
What?
It can't stand for
What
that.
else could it possibly mean?
I don't know.
That's exactly what it means.
American food, lettuce green, American food. I don't know.
No.
You keep telling yourself.
Okay, I will.
Thank you.
Also from Racco, just received this in an email from my credit union. Kind of ironic. I must wear a mask inside a bank. Hope they don't mistake me for a robber.
Why? Right? Oh.
Effective May 1st, per state of Illinois guidance, no shoes, no shirt, no mask, no service.
Wow.
I haven't seen the no shirt, no shoes, no service sign for a long time.
Those do not exist anymore.
Right. I don't think they do.
And as another Pat had pointed out, and Jeffy, take note, it didn't say you had to wear pants.
Oh, correct.
That's correct.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's a good point.
Which is you're probably not wearing pants right now. Am I right, Jeffy?
Correct. Do you want me
Correct.
to do the
No, we don't.
No,
we're
that's
just
fine.
we want to keep it to words only. Just
You just sit back and hold the camera. Hold on.
No, that's all right. All right. Okay.
Fine, whatever. You're talking about the mask in Illinois as of today, right?
Yeah.
Did you see where their governor was? He was asked about his wife traveling to their Florida estate, and he found at a press conference. And I find the question reprehensible.
What?
Anyway, it's just another great governor from Illinois, a Democratic governor. It's just absolutely agonizing.
What is reprehensible about asking about his hypocrisy?
Because you're asking about his family, and his family
gosh.
About his family.
But Pat
is amazing.
He's
incredible.
A Democrat.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to answer that question.
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Can you imagine?
No one else can travel, essential travel only, but don't be asking me about my wife going to our Florida home, okay? Don't do it. Reprehend.
And they get away with it. That's the incredible thing. They get away with it. Try that on for size if it's Greg Abbott, a Republican in Texas, or, Ted Cruz, a U.S. senator from Texas.
Right.
If his wife was traveling to Florida under these circumstances, you think he'd get away with? That's a reprehensible question. No, they'd be talking about it at the top of every hour on CNN and MSNBC. It's agonizing. Rolling Stones hit number one on iTunes for the first time ever. Did you see that? You read about it? You see it in the paper today?
I did, Jay.
Did you read about it in the paper? The Rolling Stones got a new song out.
Seriously though,
they haven't had a number one hit.
Yeah, their new song that they released. Yeah,
they haven't had a number one hit since "Start Me Up" in 1981. Wow, indeed. 1981. Wow, I was playing "Start Me Up" on KQDI in Great Falls, Montana.
Wow.
As a 21-year-old just up and coming in the radio world. And now the Rolling Stones, all of these years, almost 40 years later, they hit the charts again at number one.
Is the song any good? Do we know? What's the name?
It's called Ghost Town.
Ghost Town.
Yeah. They've had scattershot singles since then, but they've never had a chart topper. They've never had a number one hit on iTunes, which is, relatively new. When did iTunes start? 2000, 2005, somewhere in there, 2010. I don't know. When did iTunes start?
Wouldn't have been 2000, right? It had to have been after.
Well, they kind of developed it around the time that Napster was really rolling.
Oh,
right?
there you go. Yeah, so maybe early 2000s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started April 28th, 2003.
2003. Okay.
There you go.
But the nearly 60-year-old best rock and roll band in the world is number one with "Living in a Ghost Town." The single was dropped with great acclaim. Song was written by Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. Couldn't be more timely, but they wrote it, I guess, about a year ago. It sounds like it was written for today because it's talking about the ghost town. And then when you see the video, it shows all the empty cities all across the country. And
he said in an interview that it wasn't written about today. They went back and changed it. He rewrote some of it, so it was more for today.
That's like the Strokes' new album just came out a couple weeks ago. And I tried
Which
to...
everybody is talking about.
Shut up.
Everybody is.
You can zip it right now. The name of the album is The New Abnormal. And I went to look to see, did they just come up with this title recently? And apparently not. But again, it just kind of fits nicely with what we're facing.
Okay. So the Strokes have a new album out, too, if you're...
Seriously, we're going to fight about this? Because Martin introduced me to this yesterday, this album. I didn't know it was out there. I couldn't stop listening to it yesterday. Seriously, we're going to do this? You're going to listen?
We're doing it.
You're going to listen to the album, then you're going to come back
now.
on here, and you're going to go, oh, man, that was a great album. It's really good.
I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will.
Be something.
There's no doubt in my mind.
I can't wait. I'm going to give you about 24 hours to check it out, and then it's going to be amazing when you and your account tweet a link to the full album talking about how awesome it is.
I'm pretty sure that'll happen. Yeah.
I think in that interview that McCartney gave, he mentioned that not only were the Beatles a better band than the Stones, he talked about the Strokes' new album. So, I mean,
wait, did McCartney have an interview where he said they were better than the Stones?
Yeah, he started.
That's true, and I think almost everybody would agree with that, right?
I would.
Jagger kind of agreed.
Oh, that's a pat pull right now.
Jagger agreed with it?
Yeah, he said, I think quote was, I can't remember what he said in the interview, but he kind of, was, it was a political answer of there's no argument or something like that. I can't remember what he said in the interview that he gave, but it was, there's obviously no competition. That's what it was. It's obvious there's obviously no competition. So, he kind of agrees with it too.
So how do you want me to word this pat poll? Which is your favorite of the two? Which is the more talented? How do you want me to word this?
Which is the best rock band of all time?
Which is the best rock band of these two?
Of all time.
What was funny... Thank you. What was funny about the Jagger interview, though, he said there's obviously no competition, but then he went on to say that, we're one of the great touring bands of all time, and, the Beatles, they don't even exist. They don't
That's
exist
true.
anymore.
That's true. And for a long time, they haven't existed.
Right.
For
they haven't,
50 years, they haven't
we started
existed.
touring. Right. We started touring, 69 and 70, the big concert tours, and they were no more.
Well, there's something to be said for the longevity of the Stones. That's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
How about I do, which is the best band of all time? The Beatles, the Rolling Stones, or someone else?
Mm-hmm.
You want to see what?
Boston.
Well, then you would vote for someone else. Right.
The Strokes.
The Strokes.
I just said the album's really good, man. Everybody knows the Connells are the greatest band of all time,
that's where
Jeffy.
I was about to go. Dang it.
Definitely the most underrated band of all time, the Connells.
Oh, no question. There's no doubt in anyone's mind on that, Keith. No doubt.
I hate you both.
All right. 888-900-3393. Texas oil fields are being purchased by someone right now to the tune of $1.3 billion by China, by a Chinese investment firm,
good.
shelling out $1.3 billion to buy giant oil fields in Texas.
Wow.
Why would we allow this?
We can't, right?
Bad
we
news.
Can't allow that.
Why would you allow it? That is...
And apparently, the federal government signed off on this.
They're acquiring oil assets in the western Texas Permian Basin that were currently owned by Tall City Exploration and Plymouth Petroleum. The deal is part of a larger transaction between Yantai Jinchao and a second Chinese firm. Oh, good. There's two Chinese firms involved in this. The purchase includes oil fields in the state's Howard and Borden counties, which has already been approved by the U.S. Committee on Foreign Investment. That is insanity.
Yeah.
That is absolutely insane. So they manufacture all of our goods. They manufacture our medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're owning oil fields
they infect the
in
world
Texas
with viruses.
Mm-hmm. They steal all of our secrets by having spies in corporations all over America. What else can we do for them? Is there anything else we can do?
Sure. I mean, wasn't there a big story a few years ago where they were buying up all the golf courses? I mean, they're just buying up all the property in the U.S. That needs to be looked into too. I mean, think of all the land that you own if you're buying up all the golf courses, or many golf courses in the U.S.
Why are we committing national suicide? That's what I want to know. Why? Wow.
For the money.
And
the greed, right?
I guess.
How can this be? This doesn't fall under the national security issue there, because this is the same administration that approved this was telling us that we need to put tariffs on steel because it's a national security issue.
Yeah.
But oil isn't?
Yeah.
What?
Oil and energy sector, that's amazing. 888-900-3393, more Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. How about Brazil's president? This guy just doesn't care. He doesn't care what anybody thinks of him, what they're saying about him, whether or not they like him. He was told at a little press conference that more than 5,000 Brazilians have lost their lives due to the coronavirus. That's more than even more than people than in China. His response? So what? I'm sorry. What do you want me to do about it? Wait, what?
If Jeffy were a leader.
It's Jair Bolsonaro. That's Jeffy. He is the Jeffy of world leaders. So what do you want me to do about it?
It's a little more than 18.
I didn't infect him.
Well, okay, now you're stretching it.
I didn't infect them all.
Wow. You imagine if President Trump handled things, and he's about as close as anybody in the world to handling it like that, but not even he does that. That's amazing. By the way, we just did the quick poll. Keith threw it up there. You can still vote.
Yeah, we're going to run this through Sunday night around 8 o'clock Eastern.
At Pat Unleashed on Twitter, which is the best band of all time? The Beatles, 16.3%. 7%.
Actually, no, they're up to 22% now. So the Beatles are at 22%.
Okay. Stones are where?
10%.
Still at 10.
Rolling Stones.
And someone else.
Now we're up to 68%, say someone else.
68%. Okay.
And I mean, obviously, when they're clicking that option, they're thinking Boston.
Obviously. Yeah. Or Foreigner. Boston, Foreigner, somebody.
Yeah,
like.
right.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
The Babies, maybe.
Jeffy, who is your favorite band of all time? Honest question. Who is your favorite band of all time, Jeff Fisher?
I don't know. I really don't. I couldn't answer that question. I don't know.
What? What do you mean you don't know? Time out. No, man. I've seen your record collection. And I've seen your hernia, too. No, I've seen your record. You are a music guy.
I am, but I don't necessarily have a favorite. I really don't.
Wow, that was good talk. Good talk.
I mean, the Carpenters, maybe.
Carpenters.
If you got a gun to my head, Carpenters.
A gun to your head. The Carpenters. Somebody's going to pull the trigger. I promise you. If that's the band you say, they're pulling the trigger and killing you dead. The Carpenters.
I don't have enough paper balls to throw at the camera, man.
The Carpenters, probably. Gun to my head, the Carpenters.
Karen Carpenter solo.
Maybe Bread, David Gates and Bread. I don't know. One of those.
I love the Babies. I love
the Babies. I do. They're, John Waite.
John Waite was great.
One of the great rock vocalists of all time, for my money.
Ever. Yeah, he was great.
Yeah. All right. 888-900-3393. Also, at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, a shock poll. Young people are far more likely than older voters to support a bailout for the oil industry. Oh, that is a shock poll.
Oh.
Young people are far more likely than older voters to support a bailout for the oil industry, according to a new Just the News Daily poll with Scott Rasmussen. Their support comes even as many young people have rallied against oil projects like the Keystone Pipeline and called for divestment away from fossil fuel industry. That's really weird. That is really... Young people just don't... They don't know what they're talking about, for the most part.
Well, yeah.
For the most part.
It's not only a government bailout of a big industry,
right?
But it's one that they've been brainwashed
that they
to
hate
think is evil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Very strange. By the way, how much are you paying for oil for gas in the last few days? Because across the street here from the studio in Irving, there's a 7-Eleven, and I just paid $1.
Whatever you say, it's going to be higher than the rest of the area we frequent.
For regular gas, it was $1.17 a gallon.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's down there.
No, I'm sorry. It was $1.39 a gallon for regular. $1.39.
Cheapest I've seen is $1.12.
And is it still around there, or has it shot back up a little bit?
Well, let's see. Since I have to refill my truck every, 2.5 days, I'll let you know in about a few hours from now what the price is. Yeah. But it was a few days. Monday, Tuesday-ish. I don't know. Yeah.
$1.12.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredible.
Jeffy, remember where Elvis got had that run-in with everybody's favorite cop? That intersection?
Yes.
That's where it's $1.12. So
that's a really good
there
price.
you go.
It's in your neck of the woods,
Yeah, it's in my neck of the woods. But last time that when Amber sent me a picture of that particular place was $1.19. That was a week and a half ago or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
And it's nice when you go and you fill up your tank for a reasonable price. Now
it reminded me. Yeah, it's not.
But Houston,
it's bad.
But Texas.
Yeah,
but it's not good for our economy.
It reminded me one time I filled up.
China's got us covered.
I filled up my tank for exactly $10. This is so weird. $10 on the nose back in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
And I was walking in to pay for it. Remember, before you had to pay at the pump?
Yep.
Someone had dropped a scratch-off lottery ticket there at the door, and it was worth $10. I was like, this is perfect. I put it on the counter. I was like, yeah, $10.
You stole the lottery ticket?
Yeah, I stole it. That's right. And so I was like, I just put it on pump one, please, because I just filled up. It was perfect. It could not have worked out more beautifully. But anyhow, so that took me back because...
was it a $10 tank? So was it $1 a gallon? Is that about what it was?
I don't know, whatever it was.
Because it was the late 90s, I think, the last time that we had price wars that brought us $1 a gallon or less.
And I remember,
I
remember paying 59 cents a gallon in Metro Atlanta, Georgia, in February of 1999.
Well,
59 cents.
Yep. Yeah.
In the 2000s, right? It went up. I remember when it went up over, up over $1 because we had I was working, at 970 in Tampa and WFLA, and we had a big morning show deal where we had everybody pay 97 cents a gallon, and that was a big deal. I mean, people were lining up for it, right?
Hey, that corresponded with your frequency. That's kind of cool.
Yes, it did. I know, that's why we did it.
Is that why you did it? What an amazing surprise.
970.
Right. I mean, these prices are amusing, but they're dangerous.
Very dangerous for the economy. Yeah. It's nice when you're at the gas pump and you say, wow, I filled up for $35.
Yeah.
And then you drive away and you think, oh, okay,
This is not good.
It's not good for
I wanna
Texas,
pay
though. It's not
more.
good for Houston. It's not good for the economy.
No.
888-900-3393. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. We're being joined this morning by attorney Russ Skousen. Russ, welcome to the Blaze. Hi, thanks for coming on.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Listen, I heard about a client of yours, somebody who's been a client of yours in the past, for my good friend Glenn Kimber, whose son-in-law, Rick, is in a federal prison now. And we could talk about, I guess, whether he should be in that prison or not. He was charged with some sort of fraud. Is that correct, Russ?
No, it was yes, it was a white collar criminal conviction. He's in the appellate process, and that's ongoing. We believe that he's innocent, wrongly convicted. I mean, you hear about the things that General Flynn underwent. It doesn't happen just in Washington. These sorts of prosecutorial abuses happen all over. But putting that aside, he's in a literal hellhole there at Terminal Island in Los Angeles.
Okay.
What's terrible is there are nearly 600 infected inmates in that population. That is 1/3 of all of the infected inmates nationwide in the federal prison system are at Terminal Island.
Wow, that is crazy. And we just heard yesterday that 60% of federal inmates are infected with COVID-19.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So Attorney General Barr did a great thing by having the Bureau of Prisons get these at-risk individuals out of the prison system. However, the Bureau of Prisons is not responding. They're like a deer in the headlights, except the consequences for not following AG Barr's directive are death for many of these inmates.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's got several underlying health conditions, right?
Right. So what happened is Attorney General Barr said, hey, inmates who are at risk need to contact the warden. At Terminal Island, the guards were told not to take requests from the prisoners to be taken to the warden. So my friend's appellate attorney wrote a very detailed letter to the warden with his medical records, with a statement from Rick's doctor, and the warden is supposed to respond in a few short days and take immediate action. None of that has happened. And in fact, this is not unique just to my client in the prison. It seems to be universal at Terminal Island. I mean, the operation at Terminal Island has been criticized by Senator Harris, by the congresswoman representing the area, but the media and the public just can't walk into the prison and see for themselves what's going on. As you know, by its very nature, prisons are not open to the view of the public. They would be quite shocked to see what's going on.
So,
in fact, my friend, go ahead.
How many inmates are at Terminal Island? Aren't there something like 1,000 of them? And you said 600 are infected now with the virus?
Right. So that's nearly 60% of all inmates. When a few weeks ago it was 2. Now it's almost 600. They're not doing something right.
And do you know if Rick is one of those who's infected, or is he still not infected yet?
No idea. No idea. Families and attorneys try to call into Terminal Island. They pick up the phone and hang it up. There's nothing going in or out. What's interesting is my friend was able to get to a phone yesterday to call his wife. And if you know how things go on in prisons, I mean, he was risking reprisal by even getting to a phone, and he pled with his wife to get him out of there. He says, "You don't know what's going on here. It's much worse than people are being told." But by the time the dust settles, people will be dead.
Wow. So what can people do in order to help? Because according to Attorney General Barr, these high-risk inmates were supposed to be released, right? The ones who were not a danger, were not violent, they were white-collar criminals. They were supposed to be, and especially if they had underlying health conditions, because they didn't want these guys to have a death sentence in the prison when it starts spreading through like it is right now, they were supposed to be released. And so how do we help? What can be done here?
I think people just need to express their disgust with the handling of this by the Bureau of Prisons. Attorney General Barr obviously is well intended, but it's not getting to the ground level. Mm-hmm. I think Attorney General Barr really needs to step in. Now, he recently changed his order to say people who are now only eligible if they've served 50% of their time. But there are people who are dying. There are people who are dying who have served less than that. By putting inmates on home release, it doesn't mean they have to stay there their whole time. Get them out for a year until things have settled and they've got a better process in place, and then put them back in. I mean, if that's what needs to happen. But this is a time for action, not pondering the possibilities. But I mean, action needs to be taken now, and it may need that senators need to get involved and other elected officials, and action needs to be taken. I think Attorney General Barr needs to step in and make sure things happen. I mean, it's not this can't take weeks and months. It's days. I mean, in 3 weeks, from 2 to 600.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's crazy. Russ, we appreciate it. I understand that Mike Lee has been made aware of this. Would it be helpful to give him a call and maybe light a fire under his seat, or?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Mike Lee is very engaged in criminal justice reform, and I think this is something that he has a real concern about, and his office has been very helpful and responsive. And it may take more than Senator Lee. It may take, the Senate Judiciary Committee as a whole and others in Congress to do something to get these guys off their proverbial butts. I mean, Terminal Island is the name of the place. It should not be a mission statement.
Yeah, that's for sure. And it's, this is a hard thing because, a lot of people, it's hard to get them to have sympathy for the people who are in prisons because they think, well, exactly. they belong there. They shouldn't be there in the first place. But they certainly don't deserve a death sentence. So
right, incarceration is bad enough. Being cut off from your families is bad enough. Mm-hmm. You should not have to undergo inhuman treatment while you're there and be exposed to the real possibility of death. One thing, Terminal Island is for inmates who are more sick or more at risk of sickness than other inmates. So that's another problem that Terminal Island has.
Wow. All right. Appreciate the information. Good luck, and we'll keep in touch.
Thank you, Pat.
Thanks a lot, Russ. Appreciate it. 888-900-3393. Also add Pat Unleashed on Twitter. It's a really tough thing because, again,
it sure is.
You're like, well, okay, they're in prison. They're prisoners,
And we hear
they shouldn't have committed the crime. You're doing the time now, right?
And we hear stories about them getting, prisoners being let out and then committing other crimes
That's
almost
the
immediately.
thing. Yeah, that's the thing.
And are we really gonna tell someone you get to go home for a while and then we're gonna put you back in? I mean, wow, that hurts.
Yes, it does.
And during this whole interview, I didn't hear anyone say they tried to get a hold of Cardinal Joe Tobin. So I'm not sure if he's been alerted to this problem or not. But
that's
perhaps,
a good question. We'll find out. We will find out. All right. 888-900-3393. So apparently Joe Biden has made announcement. He's made a statement about.
Jeffy, do you have that in front of you?
Yeah, I mean he's been on MSNBC on the morning Cup of Goo or whatever the name of that show is. And he's been they've kind of been trying to pretend to put him on the hot spot, but he has his records at the University of Delaware were all his Senate records that he gave to them, and remember he was supposed to release them at the end of last year, and then they said, oh, you know what, no, he's still running for president, he's still in public life, we're not going to release those records. Well, it was reported that his people went and started digging through all his records once this Tara Reade surfaced. And so now he's defending his records being sealed at the University of Delaware. He said that, they could be taken out of context and they could be fodder in the campaign. Yes, they could, Mr. Biden. Yes, they could.
What is he afraid of?
I don't know. But him saying it that way sure makes it look like we need to see those records.
Yes, it does. Makes him sound pretty tasty. Makes it sound like there's a lot of fun there to be had.
I know.
Doesn't it?
I know.
That sounds like a whole week of shows right there.
It sounds more than fodder. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. He's also denied, I believe he has now personally denied sexually harassing Tara Reade.
Yeah.
I think that came from this.
To our viewers, please excuse the graphic nature of this, but I want to make sure that there is no question as to what we're talking about.
Okay.
She says in 1993, Mr. Vice President, that you pinned her against the wall and reached under her clothing and penetrated her with your fingers. Would you please go on the record with the American people? Did you sexually assault Tara Reade?
No, it is not true. I'm saying unequivocally, it never happened. And it didn't.
What's he going to say?
It never happened.
Right.
Pause. What's he going to say? Did you do that? Did you sexually assault Tara Reade? Yes. Okay, you got me. Yeah, I did. I did. She was looking really great that day, and I was, feeling like a douchebag, and so, I pinned her up against the wall and did all the things she said, and a couple of more things that she forgot, but they were memorable to me, so
I told her to shut her face and be quiet.
I did
keep it down.
but what are you going to say? Of course he's going to deny it.
But I appreciate Mika asking because nobody is asking that question.
Right, and so it took a long time.
Right.
But thank you for finally doing it, Mika. Thank you. That was,
and the answer is up to him. However he wants to answer it, fine.
Yeah, and of course he's going to say no. He's going to say no. Have you ever heard anybody come clean and say, "Yep, yeah, I did." Crap. I was hoping you were going to ask me that question. Yeah, I did.
You got me.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I've been living a lie.
Jill's in here. Jill, come here. I want you to hear me admit to this because we were married at the time.
Yeah, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone.
Let me show you what I did to her. I'm going to demonstrate here on Jill.
It wasn't that bad at all.
How much time's left in the show?
Oh, man. Oh, good golly.
So bad.
It's just ridiculous.
Hey, let's talk sports, shall we?
No. I think we continue with this because it's.
If someone had said, if someone had said early in the show that we're gonna have something a little crazier to discuss later than eating your neighbor's ass, I would not have taken that bet.
Yeah, I know. Me neither. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen.
Happy Frivolous Friday, everybody.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, to me, I will say this. To me, Tara Reade is a pretty credible victim of sexual assault. She's credible. She has had her story confirmed by multiple people, including very recently a neighbor of hers from back in 93 who said, despite the fact that I'm a hardcore Democrat, she did tell me that. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to vote for Joe Biden anyway. But yeah, she did tell me that Biden did that to her.
Joe Biden is Joe Biden. And we have to, that's the way it is. We have to believe him.
And,
okay.
And I'll tell you another thing. The Brett Kavanaugh stuff, they had not 1 ounce of evidence against him. Not an ounce. Nobody who corroborated the story, nobody who remembered it happening, who heard of it happening, nobody who had anything to do with it ever backed up the story.
And now with Biden saying, unequivocally, no, it didn't happen. I mean, that's just Tara, you're a liar, right? Tara Reade's now just a liar.
After telling us 4 years ago that these women deserve to be believed.
Right.
Huh. Well, okay, I guess it's different now, right?
He'll say, right, she's not a liar. Well, no, that's just her truth.
Don't even start with me on the her truth, your truth, my truth, his truth stuff. I can't.
That's what it is, man.
No, there's only truth. Okay.
There's
not various truths.
Your truth.
Nope. There's not my truth or your truth. There's only truth. It's the truth. Or it happened or it didn't. There's no perceiving it differently here. It either happened or it didn't.
One thing led to another.
And Dylan just makes the point off air here. Like with Trump, he talked a big game about grabbing women in certain places, right? And they had the audio and all this stuff. And the Democrats were fit to be tied. Like, oh my gosh, you're going to elect this guy?
Right.
All right, well, now we have a credible accusation of your candidate actually doing that.
Right.
So, balls in your court, Democrats. Good luck.
They're such despicable people for the these, the leadership in the Democrat Party, the Nancy Pelosi's and the Joe Bidens and the Ilhan Omar's and AOC's. They don't actually care about anybody. They're just flat out hypocrites who will tell you one thing when it suits their agenda, and then when it doesn't suit their agenda, it's the complete opposite of what they just said. So we're never going to get the truth or anything close to it from any of them. It's despicable.
Sure is.
888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. By the way, did you see Elon Musk said free America now? Elon Musk. Thank you,
he's
Elon.
all wound up. But I think that has more to do with I believe him, and he even talked about it on his earnings call with the stockholders and stuff. He was all wound up there, but I think it had something to do. We covered this on Chewing the Fat, by the way, which is a podcast you should subscribe to. He was told by NASA, one of his rockets, the first manned rocket in years now, is supposed to go off at the end of this month. And NASA told him, hey, with all the coronavirus and everything going on, why don't you and your people just stay home? You don't need to come down here and watch the launch. And I think that just ticked him off. That ticked him off. So I think this has more to do with free America. We need to go where we want to go. They're telling me I can't come to this. No, that won't stand.
Right. Well, and he lauded Texas for opening up. He said Texas restaurants, retailers, and other businesses opening Friday. Here's the rules they have to follow, and he mentioned them. And he said bravo to Texas, and everybody else should be doing the same thing. It's nice that a few people, prominent people, are starting to say now, you got Elon Musk, you got this ER doctor, the head ER doctor in New York City. You got these two guys in Los Angeles, these doctors who have treated over 5,200 COVID patients, and they're all saying the same thing. Hey, we need to get back to business as usual, as quickly as we possibly can, because this is being a little bit overblown, and way more people are exposed to this already than you even know. We probably all have it anyway, so let's just get back and do things now, so everybody doesn't lose their job. I mean, we got a pretty good start on everybody losing their job. 30 million so far in 6 weeks. Right. What does it have to be before we start the economy again? Does it have to be 100 million? Well, would that be bad enough?
It's probably more than 30 anyway, right? With all the independent contractors who aren't filing for unemployment,
right?
Those numbers are even worse, right? I mean, we need to get these people who want businesses to open back up, man.
No doubt. And again, I really want to see sports return, but the biggest issue is to allow people to go back to work and start making money again and put food on their table and be able to pay their mortgage.
And look, that's what sports does too. I mean, it's not just because we like the games and we like to play, but everything surrounding those games creates income and jobs for people.
Yeah, hotels, airfare,
all of it.
You're going to have Uber drivers back to work. You're going to have restaurants that are visited.
Talking about not allowing people in the stands, but I mean, that is a big money maker as well, not only for the universities, but for the companies who provide goods and services for those stadiums.
If you had to guess right now, both of you guys, if you had to guess right now, does the NCAA season start on time with fans, or is it delayed, or does it start on time without fans, or do we not play the season?
Jeffy, you want to go first?
I would say that it actually depends. Probably what happens. I would say that they're probably not going to ride. They're riding on, well, maybe we'll play, maybe we won't play until they see if a second wave starts during the summer.
I don't want to hear about a second wave anymore, Dr. Fauci. Shut up about the second wave.
I'm going to say
shut up.
But I mean,
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it second wave. I don't even want to hear those two words put together.
I'm going to say that being snowflake liberal institutions, the NCAA will start, but without fans. NFL will start with fans.
Yeah.
With fans in the NFL?
Yeah, I think so.
I think everybody starts without fans.
Okay.
And then maybe by middle season, maybe they start experimenting with some sort of fan arrangement. I don't know. But I bet it starts without fans.
I think baseball definitely without fans, hockey, basketball, all without fans. But I think
if
by
any of those
September,
play at all, they play without fans.
I think by September, the NFL, I see them saying, you know what, we'll take the lead on this.
And that goes back to what I was thinking about. They start the season, college football, as an example. They start the season without fans, and fans are just finding like, hey, we need to go to these games. So they open it back up.
Yeah.
And that would be great.
The problem is, if they start with fans, and there does happen to be a spike in outbreaks, they're going to be blamed for it. They're going to be blamed, and then it's going to be, there could be lawsuits. Who knows? It might be too ugly to even attempt with fans.
Okay, but you know what you do at that point? You say, look at the states that didn't lock down. They're doing a lot better as far as infection rates.
Yeah.
Point to the Wisconsin thing you mentioned earlier in the show.
Yeah.
They went to the polls and
held a vote.
Where's the spike?
They were right next to each other in lines, and there was no spike.
Where is the spike?
And man, they were hoping for a spike.
Yes, they were.
The Democrats wanted to see piles of dead bodies all over Wisconsin. They didn't get that.
So if you are in the league offices of one of these professional sports, you need to start saving these stories like this, like these states that aren't on lockdown, like the Wisconsin voting, showing that crowds aren't necessarily spreading the infection rates or spiking them.
Right. By the way, maybe we should all get the antibodies in this woman, Rose Lee Manuel, who calls herself blessed. She survived the she's 101 years old.
Yeah.
She got the Spanish flu in 1918 or 1918.
Yeah.
And she just got coronavirus and recovered from that.
Yeah, there's a couple older people that have gone through that, right?
That's amazing.
Sit them down and take their blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we can start with you because you've survived pretty much everything for the past how many centuries?
Well, it started with the bubonic plague, the Black Plague in Europe, right? Jeffy, with you in the 1500s?
Boy, good luck to whoever has to strap you down and get that blood out of you.
Man, no thank you. That's a job nobody wants. Tell you that. Not even the illegal immigrants want that job.
Pat Gray Only on the Blaze Radio Network.